4 years old when the war started.
And did you ever like have any contact with the war or anything? Like, did anything happen where you were living there?
Well, of course, there were a lot of air raids, you know, sort of the planes would come over. I lived in the north of England, so we weren't hit as badly as in the south of England. They had a lot of, you know, very bad raids, and we did have a couple, you know, and
what did you have to do?
Oh, you have to go down to the shelter, the air raid shelter.
And what was that like?
Well, it wasn't too bad because, you know, I was little. I didn't really quite understand everything that was going on. But, of course, you know, it was difficult for the mothers getting their kids out of bed and hustling them all down to the shelter, you know, air raid shelter, because most of the dads were away fighting. So they were sort of well organised, you know. They would have hot drinks for you, and we'd have games all set up so we could sit and play games until we went to sleep. But then sometimes you'd just get back into bed and then the siren would go again. So you're up and you get dressed and you're down again, you know. One night it happened 3 times, you know. So sometimes mothers decided just sleep in your clothes because this is... but in lots of ways we kind of enjoyed it. It was, to us, it was like a lot of fun, you know, because we were little, we didn't understand what it was really about.
Did you, like, where were the bomb shelters?
Well, ours was just downstairs in, like, the backyard. It was down there. Sometimes people would get together, like, you would go maybe 2 or 3 families to one house because the women wanted to be together, you know, they were all their husbands were away fighting. And so we did that occasionally, just to make it a little easier, I guess, for the mothers.
Did you ever remember being scared about it?
No, I don't ever remember being scared. I think because they didn't talk about it too much in front of us, and they probably, you know, I think maybe the older children, like my older sister, she was 6 years older, she probably had more idea what was going on.
Affect any of your schooling?
Well, yes, it did, because it happened right at the end of our block. There was a huge school, and it was bombed to the ground, and it happened at night time. And I think I was away that time. I think I had been sent out into the country, being young, because they knew they were starting to hit the northern part of England. They were after bombing the ports. So anyway, this big school got bombed. So that meant all the schools were they had to sort of get the older students going to the schools. The younger ones, we had to go to teachers' houses. So every day you were going to a different house, you know. So that was kind of disruptive, I guess, in a way, you know. And then at one point, you know, they had to have gas masks in case of the gas, and they were terrible things. Oh, they were terrible. That was the one thing that scared me, having to think about putting on this mask, because they were terrible. Not like they are nowadays, who are just big, rubbery, heavy things, and so you would go to school carrying your little gas mask because you had to have it with you all the time, you know. And so that was one thing that kind of scared me a little
You said going out to the country. Did you go by yourself, or did you?
Well, I did because some of the other kids probably just went out to different houses, but I knew people, or at least my family knew people who lived out in the country, and so they must have said, you know, I'll send her out here, because my sisters were older, so I remember going out there for, you know, about 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, something like that. And then afterwards I remember this school was bombed, and yet all of a sudden I go away and then I come back, and so that was when they must have been, they knew something was, you know, going to happen in that part of the country, I guess. So.
And did your dad fight in the war?
Oh yes, he was away just about all the time. He went, he was 4 years in South Africa, and then he went, no, not South Africa, West Africa. His brother was in North Africa, and then at the very end of the war, my dad was sent to Berlin when they were bombing, you know, bombing was going on in Berlin. So yeah, he saw quite a lot. And then he didn't get home very much. I mean, because you know, when they post them out to places like Africa, and this, you know, they don't get home too often. So we didn't see too much of them during the war.
Did you like write letters and stuff?
Yeah, you do. But then that's all like censored. They like, I remember my mum had a card, and it would have things you were allowed to say, and things that you weren't.
Like
you
what?
know.
What were you?
Well, I just. There were very simple things, like for kids, you were allowed to talk about what you were doing at school, and you just couldn't just go off and, you know. And then, of course, well, I didn't really know what was on my mom's card so much, you know. So you look down, because, you know, I could read and write, you know, and after a couple of years or so, you're reading and writing. So you look down the card, and there'd be number 1, there'd be a certain thing like I'm doing well at school, or number 2, I have friends at school, and you just copied it down, you know. And I remember writing that you would write and say how far you had advanced at school. You would, I'm like up in my reading, and I'm in book so and so, you know. And of course it's the same when you get letters back, you know, from your dad. He just says, they've got these cards too, tells them, you know, what they're allowed to say. And so that was kind of funny, that was kind of strange, you know.
Do you remember like the war being over or anything?
Oh yeah, I remember, yeah.
Was there any like
because I remember my mum, you know, was happy, and she'd jumping up and down and saying the war's over, you know, which was going on all over, and of course people were out in the streets and sort of happy about it. And so you sort of remember that.